Hey everybody, welcome to One More Round with Josh Norris. Today I wanted to take some time and I wanted to talk about why the podcast is named One More Round. It's obviously pretty easy to think, okay, getting up one more round in a boxing match, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper in that story. You know, when I was growing up and as a kid, I loved playing basketball, but I was always a pretty heavy set kid because I knew nothing about nutrition. My idea of nutrition was I'm going to put strawberries in my Blizzard. And I'm gonna, eat 2 of them to make sure I get my strawberry intake. So it wasn't something I knew a lot about, so I was a heavier set kid. Well, come about when I was 13, 14 years old, I think I was 14 in fact, it was the summer before I went to high school, living in Safford, Arizona. And I was just determined. I was gonna get in shape, I was gonna lose weight, I was gonna do whatever I needed. Well, Rocky was always a movie that I liked and enjoyed, but during that time, I used boxing to be able to do that. So my dad, he bought a speed bag that we put up in my room. I would run every morning and do the jump rope. I'd have, my little, boxing gloves, and I had a double bag and all that good stuff. And I worked out. I did push-ups, did all this stuff. Well, during this time, I watched the Rocky series. I kid you not, probably 5 times through the entire deal. We all know that number 5 shouldn't even count. So the first 4 is what I had watched back then. But I remember distinctly there's this one scene where Rocky's sitting in there with his kid and he's getting ready to go to Russia. And his kid's asking him, are you scared? And Rocky says, it's that one more round. You don't think you can. It makes all the difference in your life. And when he says that to his kid, and sorry for the impression if you don't like it, but when he says that to his kid, it was just one of those things that stuck with me. It's like, that's right. You can't lose if you don't quit. If you keep getting up, you keep doing what you need to do. So it pushed me and drove me to get in great shape. Come by the time I was 15 years old, I was in stellar shape. I ended up, moving up to Chandler area. I played basketball here, played football at Chandler High School, but fitness was a big thing. And it taught me discipline. It taught me how to, always go that extra mile, go that one more round. And, that's kind of where it stemmed from. Well, then fast forward to about 6 months ago, or 5 months ago, it was beginning of April, I got sick. So I ended up with heart failure, and I'm gonna do a real deep dive in that with my partner who also had heart failure at the same time, and it was a virus, but we weren't even around each other for 6 months. So that's a weird story in and of itself. But during this time when I got sick, I couldn't do anything. And I'm a very active person. I run multiple businesses, so I have a lot of hats, a lot of things I have to do on a daily basis, or I should say get to do, because I'm very excited about all of my businesses and projects. But when you get sick with heart failure, you go from being able to be at 100 miles an hour to I got a nap after brushing my teeth. So this went on for about 90 days. I was down and out, and I'd already started the podcast. I think we had maybe 5 or 6 episodes at that point in time, and it made even more sense. I'm like, this is what people need to understand, is a temporary situation is not going to last forever. I knew I wasn't going to be sick forever, or I was going to die. I was either going to get better or I was going to die. That's kind of how I saw it, and that's probably a terrible way to put it, but it's just the way it is, especially when you're laying down for 13, 14 hours a day. You just can't do what you used to do. It's insane. But long story short, I got better about a month ago. So this is currently in 2022, depending on when you're watching it, and we're in August. So it's only been about a month and a half, but I'm telling you, it gave me so much more energy and excitement for what the future holds by just getting through it, going that one more round. And the stories you hear on this are going to be subject matter experts that have learned a ton in their field. It's going to be business owners that have had ups, downs, been kicked around, but got up and succeeded. So that's what this is about. I hope you enjoy this podcast. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure that you share this out. Whether it helps you or not, I don't know, but you may know someone that the content does. So appreciate you taking a listen, and I will see you on the next podcast.